Hello Libra, and welcome to your February 2025 forecast. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. It's so good to see you. Let's get started here. As always, this is going to help you navigate through twists and turns and opportunities in the month ahead. And let's go ahead and start with channel messages. So as I was meditating on your sign, I kept seeing the image of a dove coming through. And this is a really powerful symbol. I would actually connect it with like the Judgment card in tarot. This is you coming to an understanding, being at peace with something. Actually, it could be like Four of Swords too. But being at peace with a decision or letting something or someone go and allowing yourself now to spread your wings and move forward. It's also connection to source, the dove representing spirituality in a more universal sort of focus. So if you wanted to go deeper into your spiritual path, or if you want to really focus on the energy of rebirth, reinvention, and rebounding, that's what this month is really bringing forth for you. Without any further delay, let's begin. Imagine, if you will, that the sun is beginning to rise. You can feel the warmth and radiance of each ray of light gently caressing your body and creating a cocoon of protection around you. Place your feet firmly on the ground, feel the connection to the planet as well, and trace a circle of light around your body. In this space, you are safe, and we're going to call in the energy of angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters. All right, open your eyes when you're ready, and let's see what the cards have to say. Just get this leveled out there. Already I can see this is a month of some pivotal changes, some major shifts. The Tower energy here, but also a very optimistic crowning card. So it looks like you're making some necessary changes. I'll hold back on saying anything else until I finish the shuffle, but I just had to comment on that. All right, let's get started with your catalyst energy. Beautiful, beautiful card here. We have loyalty, affection, companionship, and because it's right on track, Apollo's right behind us. Maybe we'll bring him up for a quick hello. So, for some of you, this could be your furry companion, but this could also be a little bit deeper where you're focusing on basically putting a little bit more energy into the relationships that matter most to you. And this could be a recalibrating moment for some of you where perhaps work or obligations were taking the sort of center stage. And you start to realize the importance of spending time with the people and, of course, the animals that you love the most. So since the dog was there, it was perfectly timed. Thanks, buddy. Let's look at this card here. So loyalty, affection, companionship. Core relationships in your life, human ones especially, may be put to the test. In this month in particular, you're going to find out who you can truly trust, who you can lean on, and maybe who it's time to create some distance from as well. This piece is really key, the affection one. I mean, it's important for us to find joy, companionship, and to receive that sense of love as well. So it begins from within, like loving and respecting yourself. But I also think this month there is a priority just based on the catalyst alone. And again, the catalyst is showing where you need to make some movement in creating stronger bonds. With it's not about the quantity, it's just the quality. So finding one or two people in your life and deepening that connection that could help you in the growth and also in the challenges that we see in this month ahead. Let's take a quick scan of everything in front of us. You already heard me doing some commentary with the Tower. I don't always fear the Tower. It really depends on where it's at. The fact that it's in the outcome tells me that you have all of these cards and all of this month to affect it. If it's in the middle, if it's in the environment, it has a different tone, but it is in the outcome. So I also see that you might see it coming here with the Three of Wands. It might even be creating it And we have a surfer here riding the wave of change. So it's okay. You're an agent of change this month. That's like the big thing that I'm seeing. There's a lot of reorganization also with respect to resources. We see choices, we see not enough, then we see the ability to bring in more. So I'll be paying attention to that as I do the reading. Let's go one card at a time and begin with the Five of Pentacles. Healing is the first thing that I see. Healing your body, healing relationships, possibly even family connections and familial wounds, and of course, yes, financial healing. So the most important thing at the beginning of the month is to pace yourself, to take it slow, to love and forgive yourself if there was any misstep or mistake. Everything's a lesson, everything's a growth opportunity. I'm here to help you get into this energy, which is what represents you, the Knight of Pentacles. This is very much just one snapshot. The key's right here, and we have actually many keys here that are going to open opportunities and get you past this feeling. Please do take care of yourself when it comes to work. Don't overextend. Five of Pentacles can show like just an average cold, because you're getting run down. Also, watch where you're walking. Roads are slippery, especially in Northern Hemisphere when it's wintertime. So you want to make sure that you're very aware, very present, and that's going to bode well in the long run. Ultimately, we're getting past something from the past, a feeling that I can't do it or it won't work. We're breaking a cycle. That's what I see here. Two of Swords on top of this. For many of you, until maybe this moment or until recently, something was obscuring like your ability to take the next step. It could be stubbornness, like I'm comfortable with this. I want to stay in this relationship, in this job, in this place. But it feels like a light switch has turned on. And now you're starting to see things from a new perspective. It's already happened within. The Two of Swords is kind of like an illusion. We don't see it, therefore we think it's not happening. But if we can see it here, if we can feel it here, we'll find our way to the right direction. And so tuning into the inner compass is really important. There could also be this feeling of not being seen or appreciated. And I think this is going to hold true more in a working sort of situation or a relationship. So we'll take a look at it there. But overall, because this is just touching the three cards in the center, I really feel like it's opening your eyes up to new things, thinking beyond what's in front of you, looking at the horizon, and again, looking in your intuition. Another thing, because it's on top of the Five of Pentacles, it's saying don't ignore something if it's not enough. If you're not getting enough support, enough funds, enough whatever, this is basically saying it's okay to bring it to the surface and say, I need more, okay? Deep past, you've done the work, a lot of the personal work on knowing and loving yourself. So the healing, as I'm starting to go through the spread here, feels like it's more in the surroundings, the periphery, and again, other relationships. You're showing up as at least knowing that you are amazing, but it helps to repeat the mantra, I am worthy, I am ready, I am deserving of whatever it is you're trying to manifest, because it can happen pretty quickly with the Three of Wands on top. Still, even with an upright Queen of Cups, there's a reminder here to be kind to yourself and to be kind to others. A message I just read in a daily reading this week, but I think it's important to reiterate it. She's getting her head above water, literally in this illustration. So if you've been having some emotional or financial or physical sort of challenges, it feels like this is a tipping point in a positive direction. Celebrate the little successes and don't let the other sort of, side steps get in the way. You're tracking in the right direction. Some of you are opening your heart to love, and that's exciting too. We'll take a look at it when I expand the forecast, but I can already see, based on deep past energy, that you're ready, okay? Or more ready than before. And that is connecting us here to Six of Cups. Friends and family, people that you truly love, chosen family as well. This is where some of the healing could be taking place. And it's kind of magical when it starts to happen. There's also the inner child coming out to play a little bit. So this could be a part of you that you forgot about, that you kind of buried beneath the surface or tried to forget about. But just like a baby, the inner child has a way of grabbing your attention. And in this month in particular, it's saying, hey, why don't we do this? Why don't we have some fun? Why don't we do what we came to the planet to do? So there's a little bit of a soul alignment or realignment that's happening which is powerful, which is important. So allow yourself to have some fun, listen to that inner child, it's wiser than you think, and spend some time with friends, family, and children in your life. They have also this beautiful, honest perspective that can help you get out of this Two of Swords energy that we saw at the center. They'll help you see it as it is. If a kid says it, it's usually pretty honest. All right, in the crowning position, we have Three of Wands. This is why I'm not nervous about the Tower. She's out there looking for challenges, looking for opportunities. She may also be out there creating some waves, making some necessary changes in her life. It's exciting when you decide to make some waves sometimes, whether it's, quitting, moving, making a change within. When you feel that sense of this is right, it doesn't really matter what other people think because you are in alignment. The one thing I want to bring to the focus here on this one is that for some reason, this particular character in the Three of Wands may be doubting how quickly it could happen. Whatever it is you're trying to do, it doesn't have to take a long time. This already is a card of imminent, if not current, manifestation. But it does require you to look in the right direction. If she's looking here but not there and something's coming in over there, she would miss it. So it's not to make you nervous, it's to make you aware and say, hey, maybe I want it to happen at this time or at this place, but what if it happened a little sooner or a little later or a little bit over there and it's better aligned? Just be open to a myriad of opportunities. And when you manifest, if you want it now, say, I'm ready to receive this now. Not soon, because soon is relative when it comes to the universe. It could be 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 years. So I get a nowness and a sort of imminent energy with this reading for you. That which you seek can be found here and now. But it does require releasing the block that it won't happen. Only you can work on that, but that's what I'm picking up a little bit. It might be time to travel. Travel can give you perspective. Travel can help you see what you need to change, and it helps you see who you are and where you are in the equation. Things are going to move quickly. Look at this chariot. Those horses are galloping. He's on top, trying to get a bird's eye view as well. The chariot is also about control and where and when to pull the reins. In this case, he doesn't really need to. They know where they're going. They're all in alignment. So this might be good for you if you are willing to delegate to someone that could help you, like a middle manager, an assistant, or a family member where you're like, hey, could you take care of this so I can focus on this? Teamwork. It could just be teamwork too. So a good manager knows when to speak up and when to step back. This is true in your own life too. Know what is deserving of your attention and what's fine, okay? But we have like control, authority, and movement all coming through with the chariot. And also a message that if it's something that you really want, if you really feel passionate about it, why not fight for it? That's the fight worth fighting. There are other things where it's not worth it, but if there's something that truly ignites your heart or your passion, this is the time to put the focus and the energy there. You're coming through in a really great way this month, the Knight of Pentacles. This is where the change is happening. It's in your time, your energy, your resources, your money, how you're spending and how you're allocating that. Once you start to shift it around a little bit, then we just see abundance with the Knight. The Knight is very tactical, very meditated and premeditated in how he's going to move. Strategic is a better word. So really lean into the strategy this month of what 2 or 3 or 4 steps down the line is, and then we start to see this path of success. So yes, we have challenging cards with 2, 5, and 4 of Pentacles, but you have the capacity to see an opportunity to change the tide and to spend time and energy in a more wise way and resources overall. So I like what I see here. If you want to step into something new, if you want to make a move, it can happen quickly. Knights proceed pretty fast. Not as fast as the Knight of Swords, but the Knight of Pentacles is still fast. He's doing a little bit of legwork here too, literally and figuratively. So researching, getting in the field, getting in the mix, talking to people, really feeling it out for himself. You have 2 cards that stuck together when I was looking at the environment. So let's talk about them. We'll look at the presenting card first. So this is the devil you know, the 4 of Pentacles. Oftentimes we keep holding on to someone or something because it's safe, because it's familiar, because it's there. and it's convenient. But it's not enough. That we just saw that. We saw this is where it should be headed. Now, this is someone around you. So it could be you, but it's more likely than not someone else that is trying to keep you in their life because they are afraid of what it would be like to not have that energy there. It's not because it's necessarily serving either of you. There may be someone where you have to create some distance and help them also become more self-sufficient. But if it is a job opportunity or if it is just something that you're putting your time into, what it tells me is you give more than you get. Because this is someone that's a little stingy with the return on the energy investment. Beneath it, we have the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords in reverse is starting to see everything that I just said for what it truly is. Because if we look at her, she's fine. Previously, she might have been looking at a projected sort of fear or believing what she was hearing, but now she's starting to trust her instincts. So trust your instincts. And if you feel like someone isn't giving what they should or that this isn't worth your time and energy, then there's probably something better on the horizon. And we actually have here choices in the form of the Two of Pentacles and balance. With this card in reverse, it's getting easier to see what you need to do. I already feel like there's something beneath the surface, like an inner knowing, an inner understanding. It's just for some reason difficult to sort of like get it out, articulate it. We don't, interestingly enough, as I'm looking at this spread, we don't have a lot of swords here, right? And this, except for this, and I want to see a communicative sword card. Both of these are the opposite of that. This is ignoring and this is ignoring. We'll talk more about that in a second. But first things first, once you make the choice with the Two of Pentacles, everything starts to just feel lighter, feel easier. And that's actually part of my advice on this one. It should feel like easy when you lean into the choice that's right for you. You shouldn't have to pull cards. You shouldn't have to overthink it. Just close your eyes and think, one of these choices feels better. Let's go there. And you can use this compass throughout the month. It may not just be one thing. It may be each day you're starting to trust your instincts and choose wiser, more discernment. There is a limit to how much you can do and how often you can do things. So don't push yourself beyond that limit because, again, at the center, we have the Five of Pentacles. So you have two cards with the blindfolds on, the Eight of Swords and the Two of Swords. So it's a wake-up call month, too. There could be something in your body where, you're not feeling well, and that's the wake-up call. There could be something that happens around you. I mean, the next card is the big wake-up call, the Tower. Let's not let it get to this. Let's pay attention to the little things. So when the Two of Swords comes through and there's an ache or pain, you go to the doctor. If you hear a little drip in the roof, you fix it before the whole roof caves in. All those little things, it's just great analogous examples here. In your own life, it's just about preventative maintenance and proactive approaches paying off in the long run. Now let's just lean into the Tower. Let's imagine that there's something that's been brewing for a while. There maybe was something in the environment or something that kind of spurred it on, but now you're like, I have to make the change. Okay, change can be fantastic. Change can be necessary. It can help you grow. So sometimes moving to a new city, sometimes getting in or out of a relationship, sometimes changing your major in school or changing your job, the career that you're working in, all of these things can kind of like bring life into you as well, right? You start to feel like, this is what I was supposed to be doing. This is it. So lean into the Tower, surf the energy of change, and really feel like you have this capacity this month not to be beholden to things, not to wait for the Tower to fall, but instead to go there with a hammer and say, let's clear this wall. Let's make some room for something bigger, better, and brighter, okay? That being said, before we go into the expanded forecast, do take care of yourself. If you are overworking, overspending, or overextended, because we did have a lot of cards around resource management, that's when the cracks start to show. That's when things can get a little bit difficult. Let's go ahead and take this into a larger context and look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. We're going to begin with health first, which is your mind, body, and spirit. In the energy of health, we have the Father of Wands coming through, a beautiful snake energy. So it does feel like for some of you, there may be this desire or need to focus on physical strength, exercising more, maybe even trying to find things in your life that bring a sense of vitality and awakeness and awareness. With this card in reverse, it's also encouragement to open your mind and open your heart. There's a time and a place to be stubborn. So if it's something that you need or want, lean into that stubbornness. But because we're looking at health, I would say there could be a healthier or an easier or a more efficient way to do it because of all of the sort of Pentacles cards that we received. So let's look for efficiencies. Let's look for places where it can get easier as I'm kind of taking a look at this from a health perspective. Again, I do think that there's just something that may not be worth the time and energetic investment. So that's one place where you can cut some of that drain on your energy, if you will. Also, I think just saying no more often. You have to say yes to one thing, no to another thing. But no is powerful. It creates boundaries. It opens space. It allows you to have more to complete everything that you want to do. Okay, now let's just look at these from just pure health. This can also have to do with the lower extremities, like foot, ankle, even the lower leg. Make sure you're getting enough exercise in their circulation there. If there's anything going on in that area, work with a podiatrist or a doctor or an orthopedic specialist as well. Hearing and seeing, since we have the blindfold, and the blindfold goes around the ears and the eyes. I've been seeing that for a few signs this month. So it's the beginning of the year. It's a good time for a physical, a good time for the eye doctor, etc. Children, family, and the responsibilities associated with that could be taking on a little bit more focus. You might have a new pet in your life. We've got 2 dogs coming through in this spread. It takes time when you have a new animal. When I first got Apollo, he's behind me just constantly hiding. He's watching the whole reading. When I first got him, it took a while for him to trust me. It took 2 or 3 days for him to come out from underneath the bed and eat in front of me and all of that. So give it time. And if you have a puppy, it takes a long time to just basically get them used to the whole schedule. So ease into that. Whether it's a baby, whether it's a puppy, that can be a disruption. That can be a tower, but it can be a very good tower. So let's not worry too much about that. A job in like a pay increase can also be a good tower. Anyway, other things. The tower can also be something that is out of your control with health. We have a balance thing here. So if you've been pushing yourself too much with caffeine or diet or exercise to any extreme, not enough or too much, then we see something happen where the body says, slow down. We don't want it to go there. That's why I really want you to pay attention to things. And just, it's a great time of year to get a physical, so I highly encourage that. Slow down when you're driving. Just be safe. Slow down when you're walking. And get out there. I think that physical activity, I'm currently in inclement weather, and I kind of like walking out there when it's snowing. It's beautiful. So whether it's raining, snowing, or sunny outside, get out, breathe some fresh air. That's also why I decided to travel. Breathe some fresh air. That helps clear your mind. It's a natural high. And plant your feet on the ground. If you're close enough to trees, just put your hand on a tree for a second and think about what it is that you don't need or you don't want. Give some gratitude to the tree and then send it to the planet. It will help you ground it into the earth, okay? I think that's pretty much everything for health. It is a manageable month, but just don't ignore things. Don't ignore signs and signals in your body or in the environment. And as long as you're doing that, that should be fine. You may also benefit from massage, acupuncture, or chiropractic work because the 4 of Pentacles tends to hold on, and it holds on here, like shoulders, chest, even the upper back. So having someone help you work that out could also be very advantageous. Let's move on to wealth, which is resources, life purpose, and career. And we have a card of recovery here. So it's not just recovery, balance, I should say, 6 of Pentacles. So the 6 of Pentacles is getting you past what we saw here with the 5 of Pentacles. So this is feeling like I can't get through that door, there isn't enough. And suddenly, with the discernment that came forth from the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, we start to see growth and movement. In the traditional illustration, someone would be holding scales and there'd be a lot of hands reaching for you, for your resources. So with wealth, have boundaries. Your boss, your peers, your family, your friends, people could be reaching to you for time, energy, or money. You can decide a little bit here, a little bit there. I need to rest now. How about we do this next week? So speak up and create those healthy boundaries. It's going to help you over time as well. Okay, let's go ahead and go a little bit deeper into 5 subcategories here for wealth. I love this deck, but it's a little tricky to to shuffle it. All right, so let's look at those who are currently employed, those of you who have your own company, those that are seeking a job, students, and then finally retirees. And we have a synchronicity with students, which is great. Okay, let's start off first with those of you that are employed. So it is an awakening and an awareness here. So we have the shadow side, aka the devil, and this is basically you seeing beyond somebody's attempt to keep you in the dark. Even in this card, the light is shining in, right? So if someone consistently is not doing what they say they're going to do, now is the time to speak up. This is especially true for like employers. Let's say time and again they've promised you an increase or something and it never happens. Get it in writing, talk to them, hold them to their promise. I mean, you are overdue and you have a card of worthiness here. If they don't do it, it's time to look. Maybe a change could help. To quote Sheryl Crow, a change could do you good. It may require looking in a different direction than you expect. Don't do something that doesn't feel right. That's a lot of double negatives. So if you don't want to do it, say no. If it's illegal or morally questionable, don't do it. And if somebody is just trying to place the blame or take the credit or whatever, also speak up. This is a time to find your voice. So the good news here is you have the ability to manifest more. You have an ability to bring any of this behavior into check and to stop it and to bring something better into the mix. So really lean into your power. That's what I would say here, okay? Now let's focus on those that have a company, entrepreneurs. Pretty good. The Sun card is as good as you can get, actually. So keep doing what you're doing. In fact, this is a really good time to show up more when it comes to marketing, social media, advertising. Also, people may want to see you on the face of the business. And because we have a baby on this card, it can also be birthing, releasing, creating, or launching. And whatever it is that you launch could make a splash. So these two cards together represent that intentional splash, disruption. To be a disruptor as a entrepreneur is a good thing. It sets you apart from others. It helps people see you as a go-to person when it comes to decision making or important products or services. So I actually feel like you're in a pretty good place. Now let's move on to those of you that might be looking for work. Ace of Wands in reverse. It can just be exhaustion. There's a point where it's like, how much longer do I have to push for this? But this can also be a eureka moment because in the upright position, this is basically you seeing things very clearly. So get some rest, get some perspective, take a break. We don't even have it here, but what's coming through in my mind's eye is like 8 of Cups. Just stepping back from something long enough to rest, recalibrate, and get a clear vision and version of what's going on is really important. Don't overthink. If you feel like, oh, I should try this or I should talk to this person, listen. Your guides are speaking to you. Your higher self is coming through. This is where you want to strike while the iron is hot. And this is kind of entrepreneurial. If there's an idea that you want to take to the next level, the question here is how far do you want to go with that? You could do it. You could make a splash. It could happen faster than you think. If you're looking for a traditional job and you just want to know when, where, and how, here's a couple of things. First of all, I keep saying like there's a now energy to it, but it's not in the way or shape or form that you would think. The Tower is saying it's going to require you to be flexible, and the word bend comes through. Bend your idea of what it is that your job title or your ideal job should look like. You might have to travel a little bit to create this. What I see for many of you is it's probably going to take half of the month. I keep seeing this as I'm looking at these readings. So maybe for you around the 16th, at that point you start to see some movement. I want to warn on a couple of things. One is they may try to enter in with a low salary, a low ball salary. So you want to then come through and counter it. There may not be a lot of wiggle room, 10%, maybe 20, probably 10, but it's worth fighting for that. And if it's not good enough, keep looking. Because what I see here is someone that is poised for success. Don't accept something that is less than what you deserve. I know that there are times when we have to, but if that happens, keep looking while you've got that. Because I just feel like there's one limiting option. And if you're willing to go outside of that limited option, there might be something beyond. We have a lot of transportation cards here. So if you're willing to commute or to go, maybe half an hour out of where you normally would, then that could also open up some job opportunities. Go into your existing network to find it. So we see like half the month, a little bit of travel, and for many of you, it just surprises you. There's something very surprising about how quickly it happens too, and where it comes from. But don't second guess yourself. I feel like this is good. One thing that you really want to look at, this is for everybody in this category too, make sure you trust people that you're working with. Say thank you often. And who do you want to spend time with? That companionship is so important. A lot of my current friends are still former employees that, not employees, but co-workers, I should say, when I was at regular companies, because they become like family, right? The more time that you spend with them. So choose a place where it feels like home, where it feels comfy, where you can be yourself. Because if you can't, you spend so much of your time there that it's almost a waste. It seems like a pity to put energy somewhere where it's just, you can't be yourself, right? Okay, enough said with that. Can you find something? Yes, but push. Push for the Six of Pentacles. Make sure that you're both, there's some give and take, there's some compromise. Let's take a look at students. I keep getting so many travel cards for students. It feels like many of you are ready to maybe go for an internship, a semester abroad, go to a different school, maybe you're transferring. Also, this is just accomplishment and it's upright for you. So the overarching energy was reversed for everybody, but for students, when we're looking at just this category of wealth, you're exactly where you need to be. And just stay focused. The only thing that can get in your way is saying yes to everyone, is running yourself to the point that you get sick, is ignoring something that needs to be dealt with. But as long as you stay on top of your organization, like your schedule as well, I feel like you're going to be okay. There is something new that's coming through, a new idea, something exciting. Explore it. This is one part of your life where you can make a big change if you want to. Change of major, change of school, change of location. Just plan it out. Three of Wands is saying, again, strategically think 2 to 3 steps ahead so that you know where you're going. Finally, retirees. For some of you, you're trying to find your happy again. There's some healing energy with the Three of Swords in reverse, but I also feel like it's this question of what do I do next to make me happy? If there is anything in your life that is contributing to this, making you feel stressed out, making you feel like it's not worth it, there is so much opportunity for change and exploration this month. I really feel like that's where the energy should be. There's a lot of hands reaching for your resources, so it's ever so important to be discerning. Again, we can't see it here in this Six of Pentacles, but typically there's someone holding a scale and saying, no, I need to save some for me, or I'm just going to give to this. It's important to be mindful and to be direct and to be picky and discerning, okay? That's going to help you out in the long run. Focus on health. Emotional and physical healing are really, really important because that's what's going to take you to the next chapter, all right? Speaking of next chapters, let's take a look at love and relationships and see what's coming through here. The Hierophant, and we're just seeing the key on this card, which I love. So we have a raven or crow, we have this beautiful skeleton key, and the Hierophant. So typically, this is super structured. We would see a papal figure, 2 disciples, 2 keys, and it's basically all based on the gatekeeper. In this particular moment in time, you're the one with the key. And we see it here at the center. It's a question of if you're ready to use the key, if you're ready to turn the door open and see what's on the other side. So also, this is a card of rebuilding. It's a very organized card. So we don't have the gatekeeper anymore. You may be at a point in your life where you have to take on a little bit more responsibility, do a little bit more than you're used to, but you are poised to do it. I believe in you. Do you believe in yourself? I hope you do. All right, let's see how it's going to factor out in relationships. This is a very conservative card, so I'm curious to see if we see any of that conservative energy as we look at the different types of relationships here. Things could get serious fast with the Hierophant. So we're going to start off with those of you that are currently in a relationship. Then we're going to move on to those of you that are looking for love. And then finally, we're going to look at those who are single and happy. Okay. If you're currently in a relationship, there's a synchronicity. There's a power struggle. We have the Chariot upright here and the Chariot reversed here. So you can't force someone to think or do what you want them to do. You can only open the door or shine the light on something, and kind of like just let them go from there. This is a time not to micromanage, not to nag, but instead to say, would you like my help? Is this something you need assistance with? Put the question and let them take the key and say, yes, let's do this, okay? You can give them the key, but you can't force them to open the door, like we were talking about before. There could also be a lot of travel that could be creating some friction between you and your partner. It could be long distance, could be work related. You may just be run, going in all these different directions. And so this is, an encouragement to slow down, be present, and spend some quality time with one another, so that some healing and some communication can take place. Lots of concerns or questions around money. I do think you guys can figure that out. It is just choices. There may be too many expenses this month, so picking and choosing is super important. And we just talked about that with wealth. Let's see. Family expansion for some of you, or focus on the pet, or a plan or a desire to travel. Take it slow when it comes to that, because the tower attached to the travel is saying, really make sure that you have all your destinations kind of like mapped out. You have your travel insurance, you have everything kind of in the right place at the right time. Other things with the relationship is it 50-50? This is like this is showing a little bit of imbalance where one partner's taking more. And again, just this feeling of, do you see me? Do you hear me? And so more open communication, more frequent communication definitely comes to the surface. There could be a really good change, though, with the Tower and the Three of Wands, where you both are ready to make a move in a direction, whether it's expanding the family, selling the house, or doing something exciting. Or you have this idea to change up, business, whatever. This is a joint decision, but it is a decision for the better. It just requires a little bit more communication, okay? Because I'm still not seeing the communication cards that I would like. Moving on to those of you that are looking for love. We have Knight of Pentacles coming through. You can find it. We have an earth sign presenting himself in this card. I would say the challenges for you, as we look at the rest of these cards here, are, do you have the time and energy to make it happen? Also, this person could come through so quickly that it feels like you're head over heels. In the traditional Tower card, you see someone falling out from the tower head over heels. So it could be good. It could be big. This is someone where it's sort of like, oh my God, I can't stop thinking about this person. You get very serious very quickly. I think it's also important for you just to focus on what you need and state those expectations as well. Find out what they want, but also don't be afraid to share what you want as well. It's a two-way street. If you're single and happy, this page looks really happy to be single and happy. So do something new. This is a card of learning. So pages can create something new. They can learn something new. They get out there, they mix, they mingle rather. So this is an exciting time for you. I would say for many of you, it would be involving travel or a change in career. You can really lean into that because there aren't a lot of attachments for you. The main thing for everybody, again, is to stay organized. Now let's take a look at the Destiny card. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. Fantastic. So we are seeing movement. So in the Wealth card, we had the gentle graduation from the center cards. We went 5, now we're at 6, now we're at 7. So I keep seeing things getting better for you. Based on your choices, a series of very positive decisions can lead you to this outcome. In fact, I'm using different decks here, but look at this line that we see kind of leading from this card into this card. So you go from the 7 all the way into the Knight. The one thing that you really want to be mindful of with 7 of Pentacles is it takes time. We can't see it here, but the traditional illustration shows a grumpy person looking at something growing and wanting it to grow maybe 2 or 3 feet more. The fact that we got to this from the 5 of Pentacles is amazing. So things are happening. The next step may be faster than you think, but let's not rush. Time, patience, perseverance, and discernment. These are all of the keys to your success this month. You have them in your wheelhouse. It's just a matter of leaning into them. Let's go ahead and take a look at a final card, and then I'll bring this all into focus for you. So the way that the final card works is you can ask a question, anything that has yet to be answered, and I'll go ahead and see what Spirit has to say. So it can be a yes or no question, it can be a more nuanced one, and I'll try to talk about both of those approaches. So everything I just said factors in. So if you asked a yes or no, it's a yes, comma, but take your time. Temperance doesn't go to extremes. The interesting thing here is we have a big splash, but you want to strategize before you jump in. It's like diving. Not that I'm a swimmer, I'm not. But you have to get your form right. You have to focus on where you're going to go. You don't want to just like cannonball in there. You want to really be clear on the point of entry and where you want to make the splash. Intuition speaks in a whisper. You have to tune in. You have to slow down long enough and often enough to hear, feel, see, and understand what it is that you need to do and what the next step is going to be for you. More nuanced stuff that's coming through with this is that April's looking very good. I usually connect temperance to April, and also it's just about one step at a time. Temperance angel normally has 1 foot on land, 1 foot in the water, so you can test the water, you can take your time. A half step is still moving forward, so I'd rather you be very clear about the path, because we see so much coming into alignment. So patience and clarity is really, really important to your overall success and happiness. Bringing it into focus, and then we'll wrap it up. So what I'm looking at here is really, really powerful. Health, wealth, love, and destiny. So reclaiming power, creating better balance when it comes to your resources, taking that key and opening the door. This could also be taking the initiative when it comes to relationship. And then we just see you're going to have more time, energy, etc. to make the changes and embrace the things that are really wanting to come forth for you. And we talked earlier about the dove. The temperance angel is connected to anything with wings. I feel like you are protected, you are connected. It's just a matter of feeling and believing that things are about to get better for you, okay? But there is a necessary change first. Something needs to be shifted with respect to habits or relationships or any sort of constraint. Let's let those go so that the good times can come in. All right, my friends, that is everything for this month. If you enjoyed this reading, and I hope you did, please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know what resonated most. I read every comment and I appreciate it. You can also give me a follow on social media. I'm on all major platforms at Nicholas Ashbaugh. On Blue Sky, it's nicholasashbaugh.com. That's also my website. If you'd like to give back in the form of a super sticker, super chat, or a membership, I'd like to say thank you in advance. Please do that. You can do that all here on the channel page, and it helps support things like the podcast, which I just released. If you haven't listened to it, I'll link it in the video, and it's also on the main page, so I hope you enjoy that. Quick reminder that I do not offer private readings, nor do I use direct messages, so please be safe when it comes to that. Let me know if you see anybody that is acting a fool, and I'll block and report them as well. And that's everything, folks. Thank you so much for being the best part of what I do here on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope to see you soon. And until then, take special care.